it's Claudia Dean here and Talia Fidra. Now today I'm going to take you through something slightly different. You've all seen my tutorial with Talia, I'm sure, of us doing en dehors turns together. So today we're going to do something slightly different and we're actually going to do some en dedans turns. Now as an audience watching and to make it more personalised for you, I've actually decided to throw all different corrections at Talia today and have her apply every single one, just so that as an audience you can actually see what I say to Talia and apply it to yourself as a dancer. Because obviously I know that not all the corrections that I give Talia are going to be suitable to you. So I'm going to give you all my possible tips for en dedans turns and you can apply what you want. Subscribe, like, give it a thumbs up and let's get started, Talia. Now dancers, I'm actually going to place Talia in the perfect fourth position before her en dedans turn. Now these tips, these can apply to all of you. It's when we get to the turning stage, that's when you can sort of pick and choose which corrections you want to apply. Let's go into your fourth position facing here. Now one thing I want you to make sure of is that your two hip bones are right over the top of this right big toe. Okay, different to an en dehors turn. An en dehors turn, I sort of let you be a little bit more in between. En dedans, you're right over the top. The next thing, when your arms are in third, the same thing, I want your two shoulders to stay right over the top of the hip bones, which are then right over the top of that right big toe. Okay, now if we can make your fourth lunge a little bit wider, about there. Now, with your en dedans turns, Talia, I wouldn't recommend doing a fouette. I'd actually recommend you bringing your legs straight up. Okay, I feel like unless you're sort of that professional sort of stage and you've got real control of the upper body, I feel otherwise when you take that leg to the side, it shifts a lot of other things. So let's just try and keep the leg to go straight up into that retiro. Now just go to the third. What I want you to do, on the count of one, you're gonna make sure this right arm, it releases to second. We have to make sure that your two shoulders, they face the front and their arms here, they should both be shoulder height and completely flat. So you can open out that arm more, so you have a complete flat line. So we're out in second. Now, in one count, I basically want both arms to go up to the fifth position and have the foot come right up into retiro, all in one count. So try and just do a releve for me, thinking of that. So we go, and, perfect. Now let's do it a little bit faster. So we're gonna go, go, good. Now dancers, this is where I have 8 tips for you and you can apply whichever corrections you want. First tip, Talia. So let's go into your fourth here and let's open out your arm to second. So getting that straight line, two shoulders to the front. Now, what I want you to feel when you go up to fifth position, I want you to feel the left side of your back is basically instigating the turn. So you should almost feel a slight push on that side as you do the pirouette. Now Talia, let's try the en dedans turn thinking of that first tip and we'll see if it works for you. So you're just gonna be feeling the left side of your back instigating the turn and wrapping all the way around as you turn. Try it. Pretty good. Tip number 2. Now let's go to the fourth, Talia. The next tip I'm going to show you is about, so if we take the arm to second, is about in fifth, when you lift the arms up, I want the two middle fingers to join in the turn. So you have to make sure as you go around that the two middle fingers, they're going to stay joined for the whole turn, okay? That's really important. Let's try it. Good. Let's try the next tip for you. Tip number 3. Now Talia, let's go into your fourth. So this one basically is about having more resistance. When you open up your arm to second, I want you to have more resistance and you're gonna press down before you actually lift your arms up to fifth. So if you put your arms in second for me, what I almost want you to feel is a pressure. So I'm actually gonna press down and you're gonna try and resist up. Like that. So see how then afterwards your arms go boom, like that? So they're gonna go up to fifth. That's what I want you to think about. Let's go into the fourth. Good. Wow, I think that one worked well, didn't it? Now let's move on to tip number 4. Now Talia, our next tip, if you go into fourth position, So here, and we're going to open out the arm to second. Now, at the moment, when we open out the arm to second, the most common thing is that the body's going to move. So side to side, or it might even go forward or back. All right, obviously not that drastic, but it does happen a little bit. So what I want you to really focus on when you're opening out that arm to the side, that everything stays completely square. So nothing can adjust, okay? So you're going to really keep everything locked. Give that a go for me. Good. That worked well. Tip number 5. Now, Talia, this is sort of a basic tip, all right, but it can work really well for some dancers. It's about spotting. So I really want you to say to yourself, so 1, 2, 3, when you spot. Now, when you go to your 4th position, so just place for me, I always recommend for En Dedan turns, spot the front, okay? So you're gonna really think about the fast head for me, all right? Let's go. Good. In some ways better, you're slightly falling to your right though. So let's just try that once more. Let's try and keep your hip bones right over the top of that right big toe. Bit better, bit better. Tip number 6. All right, is Talia. Now let's go into your 4th position. Now this is one of my favorite corrections while you're doing adage, turns, jumps. So I'm gonna say it to you now and hopefully it works. What I want you to try and do, when you open your arm out to the side, you're gonna feel middle part of your chest go up to the ceiling. So not only just the chest, if you have your arms in 5th too, when you're there, you should almost feel like that someone's trying to pull both wrists up as well. So you're trying to feel that length there, and then that length there, up to the ceiling. So everything's just going up. Try that for me. Good. I mean, that had a really nice lift about it, okay? So if you combine maybe tip number 4 with the resistance and then the lift up, I think you'd have a really, really good turn, okay? Let's move on to tip number 7, dancers. So if you go into your 4th position here, now what I want you to watch is that, see this part of the back there, how you're really sort of lengthened and we've got a real flat back. It's sort of how I positioned you initially. All I want you to do now is actually focus on keeping that posture throughout the turn. So quite often, a lot of dancers, they release that part of the back. What we want to try and do is we want to keep that really locked. So in the turn, you have that real compact feeling. Yes, that's it. Now let's try and focus on that correction and give it a go. Very nice, good. I think we move on to tip number 8 now, the lucky last one. So tip number 8, I have already spoken about in my tutorial with Talia about en dehors pirouettes. However, I will sort of brush over it now in case you haven't seen, but I would recommend you check it out. Talia, let's just face this way. Now, go into your 4th position here. Now, just relax your arms to the side. Now, we're gonna do our up, side, down with the lats. So we're gonna go up, we're gonna go to the side, pull it out to the side, and we're gonna go down, and then again, we're gonna go up, and we're gonna go side, and we're gonna go down. Now, Talia, now the lats are really engaged, I want you to try and do a pirouette for me, really keeping this part of the back locked, and you have to maintain it throughout the whole turn. Okay, so halfway through the turn, I can't have them poke out. I want you to try and really keep them flat and long that way. Now let's try our last tip number 8, Talia, thinking about those lats. Good, okay. So tip number 4 and 8 have worked best so far for you personally, but it could be completely different for you dancers. So I'd recommend you try all these out. They work really well for all different types of dancers. Just keep practicing, dancers, and work really hard because turns are really about persistence, just like anything in ballet. So really keep going. Subscribe, like, comment, and give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, dancers. You're all awesome.